Hello, EduCon 2.5. My name is Steve Goldberg, and I'm leading a session on Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, looking at how Google Earth can foster empathy and broaden your students' worldview. So let's go right to Google Earth. Just want to show you how this works a little bit, and very excited that we will all be, assuming you're watching this and coming to EduCon, we will be at Science Leadership Academy, which is right here. If we turn on the roads tab on Google Earth, you can see it's on the corner of 22nd Street, or between 22nd and 21st on Arch Street. And I learned when I was at SLA last year that if you walk just up 22nd Street, come through here, you get to Trader Joe's, which is good if you want to pick up a snack, which I did, and that made me very happy. In looking at SLA on Google Earth, I noticed in this building over here to the right, there is a rooftop pool. And I really like pools. And I love SLA. I think it's a fantastic school. Again, very excited to be there. But one thing that SLA does not have is the world's largest swimming pool. So if we travel to the world's largest swimming pool, which is something kids love to see if you're introducing Google Earth to them for the first time, this measures, and there's a measuring tool on Google Earth, it measures from the tip to the bottom almost 1,100 yards, so 1,071 yards long, pretty massive swimming pool. We went in there pretty quickly, and what I would encourage students to do is make place marks at appropriate heights to show you the context. So it's about halfway up the coast of Chile here. We could talk about why they built that pool there and how it works. There's actually no chlorine, it's a saltwater pool. But I want to give you a sense of how big that pool is. So if you are a sports fan, this is the Eagles Stadium in Philadelphia. And if we zoom out a little bit from Eagles Stadium, click the wrong thing there, sorry. If we click out a little bit, zoom out a little bit, this is where the Phillies play. And if you wanted to measure 1,100 yards here, you'd have to go from the back corner of the stadium all the way across it, past Philly Stadium, and up to this block in South Philadelphia. That's about 1,100 yards. So give you some sense of how big that pool is. And you could look up your school on Google Earth and compare the pool to your school and its surroundings. And the idea is again to build empathy. So I'm going to show you one more story, and this is a story out of Pakistan, and this is how you can take a news event and bring that to life. So hopefully students will be able to find Pakistan even if the border names and labels were off there, but they're on, and this is Pakistan right here. We'll zoom in. And you may remember this story about a young blogger. She's started blogging when she was 11 years old. She's now 15, but when she was 14, she had been blogging about how girls should have the right to an education, which wasn't real popular with folks in the Taliban. And so members of the Taliban shot her. Her name again is Malala Yousafzai, and she lives in Mingora. And just to empathize with what Mingora would look like, I found some pictures of scenic Mingora. You don't see them here because I don't have the photos layer on for Google Earth, but if I turn it on and zoom out to this height, it'll consolidate some of those pictures into a group of pictures. And now when I click here, you can see sort of what Mingora looks like in the Swat Valley. But there's some pictures of a nice house there. And it looks pretty beautiful. It might be a good place to visit if the Taliban were not ruling it. So that's Mingora, and she was getting off of Malala Yousafzai. She was getting off of a bus in her hometown, and members of the Taliban shot her in the head and neck. and she was to try to stop her from blogging about how women should get an education. She was airlifted to Peshawar, which is a pretty good hospital, but when she got there, they recognized that she had injuries that would be better served by this hospital in Rawalpindi. And as we look at places like Peshawar and Rawalpindi with students, they start to get a better sense of the geography of Pakistan. So this is northern Pakistan, there's Mingora. If we use that measuring tool from Mingora to Peshawar, that's in yards, we want it in miles. About 71 miles. You could do some math conversions there even if you wanted to. Google Earth is very versatile. So anyway, she was in Rawalpindi and they found that she needed even better care, and she was airlifted to Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which is where she is now. They actually had to refuel at the UAE along the way because it's too far to go in one shot, but that's where she is right now. And this was a Google search I did for her recently, as she was making good progress, and she refuses to surrender to fear or Taliban ignorance. So that's how you could follow a news story, and as they break at different times, you would make place marks and put them on Google Earth and help your students to better empathize with the world. So if you have any questions about whether this might be a good conversation for you, feel free to email me. It's Mr. Goldberg at gmail.com, MRGOLDBERG at gmail.com. And look forward to seeing you in Philly. Take care.